Let's play the X-Files theme. Uwu uwu, indeed. Is it actually playing? My final theory is that, this is a really weird one. Because of how powerful Xingqiu is, Mihoyo doesn't want to release Hydro characters. Hydro, right now, in the game, is the most powerful support element. Xingqiu enables pretty much every top team, except for child teams, because child is the one that enables all of those teams. Right now in the game, because of how the artifact sets and reactions work, Hydro is the most powerful support element. So propose you have a Pyro DPS. You want Hydro so you can reverse Vape. Suppose you have a Cryo DPS. You want Hydro so that way you can activate Blizzard Strayer. Suppose you have an Electro DPS. You want Hydro so you can Electro Charge, because Electro Charge is the most damaging, the most powerful transformation reaction. Animo and Geo are kind of a wash. They kind of don't care what their DPS, what their support is. But I think when they designed Xingqiu, they specifically designed Xingqiu to work with Diluc, because they wanted to release the game with a built-in, like, optimum team. So they built Xingqiu to work with Diluc, but then they, unfortunately, due to how simple Diluc is compared to all the other Pyro characters, Xingqiu now just works with every Pyro DPS. So if a Pyro character converts, it works with Xingqiu, because of how simple Xingqiu and Diluc's interaction is. So that's why Hu Tao ends up needing Xingqiu, and for a while Xingqiu was still in Busted for Me, Klee worked with him. So right now I think Mihoyo is really scared to release any other Hydro characters, because every Hydro character has a very high opportunity to just become the most powerful support in the game. If they release any character that can operate the same way as Xingqiu, then all Abyss floors will just be managed with one half has Xingqiu, the other half has Xingqiu 2. Because, like, that's how I do the Abyss right now, and I think that's how most people do the Abyss right now. Teams that don't run Xingqiu are at a premium, because Xingqiu enables all teams, basically. Like, Tartaglia Fireworks team is exciting because it doesn't have Xingqiu. And this isn't like, I'm not saying that Xingqiu is busted in the sense that Bennett is busted, or Diluc is busted. Bennett is busted because his numbers are good, and his ult does everything. Diluc is busted because his numbers are just really, really good. Right? But Xingqiu is busted in that he makes every team work without being invested in. Right? These two characters need an amount of investment, and even then, they can't technically fit on every team, because Pyro doesn't fit on every elemental team. But Hydro fits on every single team. Even if you're doing like a superconduct thing, right, with Razor, Hydro works because when you freeze something, the cryo is the one that stays applied. So you can still superconduct. When you electrocharge, it keeps Electro and Hydro, so you can still freeze. So you can put Xingqiu on a Razor Rosario team, and it works completely fine. I think they're really trying to figure out a way to work with the elements, and this is also probably why Dendro is being delayed so much. They need Dendro to operate in a way where it doesn't work with Hydro effectively as a DPS key. Otherwise, they're going to have a situation where basically Xingqiu is just going to forever be busted. Just because he enables every single element. And you're right, Zilia. Reverse melt teams don't use Hydro. But the interesting thing is, reverse melt teams could use Hydro. And it would not mess up with any of their interactions. Because of how Mihoyo set up their elemental reactions. I think Mihoyo is trying to figure out a way to adjust the reaction chart, so that way Xingqiu just doesn't work in every single team. Because, like, right now you can put Xingqiu in literally every single team and it kind of works. I think what's happening with Mihoyo right now is that they're realizing that balancing this game for the long term is really hard. because which is why they're delaying a lot of like character releases. You missed it because you were busy. Theory 1 is that Zhongli used to be a mixed Geo-Fizz character. Theory 2 is that Xin Yang used to be Electro, but then they nerfed her because they were scared of making another. They were scared of making a superconduct version of Xingqiu. The third and most like the biggest theory is that currently Mihoyo has a balance problem around specifically Hydro characters. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's really limiting their design space because of how they made all their interactions work. Third theory makes a lot of sense. Yeah, yeah, like they're not making Hydro characters. This is the biggest thing, right? If you pretend that Xin Yang actually got released as an Electro, right now, you have 6 Pyros, you have 6 Electros, you have 6 Cryos, you have 6 Animos, you have 6 Geos. We're counting Traveler as both of them right now. But for some reason you have 4 Hydros, and one of them can't even Hydro properly. Hydro supports basically enable every single DPS in this game, with the exception of Razor. But even then, if you wanted to, Hydro supports can enable Razor. Because you can just run an Electro Charge Razor. Yep, all the next 7 5-stars are not Hydro. I think Mihoyo, when they released the game, they didn't realize the breadth of balance that they would have to adjust because of how their elemental system works. I don't think they realized how powerful Hydro was going to end up with their specific interactions. And because of that, they're forced to slow their release schedule, since they don't know how to adjust Hydro right now. Like, I think the reason Dendro, if you've paid really close to attention to the leaks, we should not be getting Eula so soon. Eula should be after we get Dendro and Baizu. That was their plan. But when they saw how much the game was centralizing around Xingqiu as a support, they realized they needed to fix Dendro in such a way that centralizing around Xingqiu as a support, like, it wouldn't happen. Like, they would no longer be centralizing around Xingqiu as a support. So they had to move the Dendro later, so that way they could figure out how to correctly adjust the game. Because they basically need Dendro reactions to either be so good that people stop using Xingqiu as a support, or they make Dendro's interaction with Hydro very deficit. Like, there's something really weird happening in their balance team right now.